Hello, everyone.
Hello, Bhaiya.
Hello.
Hello. So, my name is Ishanuj Barman. I'm the present co-lead of crew, and I'll be taking today's workshop for you all. It's not like a workshop. Everyone knows photography. It's just like whatever I know, I'll try to tell you all. That's the thing. So, in today's session, we'll be covering 6 topics like exposure, aperture, ISO, exposure triangle, camera modes, ratio, and I do have one segment. I forgot to mention it here. I'll tell you like towards the end of the session. So, starting with exposure, there are 3 elements to exposure, namely aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. So these are the things. These are 3 things that actually like control the lights that's entering or hitting the sensor. So it controls the luminosity of your picture. So after that, like mm, you can see like here a lot of numbers like 1 by 1000, 1 by 500, one ISO is 100, f stop is 1 by 11, and all those. So I'll be telling you like in detail what are these about. So, starting with exposure, as you can see, exposure is the amount of light uh, per unit area reaching the frame of the photographic film. So, exposure can be called as uh, how much light is reaching the sensor and what's the luminosity of your picture. So, as I mentioned, there are 3 elements of exposure: aperture, ISO, and shutter speed. So, next we move on to aperture. So, basically, aperture refers to the size. As you can see in this picture, in the picture towards the left of the screen, the size where it's like marked in blue, that's the size of that thing is called as aperture. So like lower the number, higher will be the aperture value. Like higher, the more light it will enter, and the more size the aperture will have. So that's the thing. Yeah, you can see here, wider the opening, more the light, more will be the depth of field. Yeah. So, I forgot to mention that aperture also controls the depth of field of your picture. So depth of field will be like yeah, you can, as you can see here, in the picture to in the left, you can see the background is a bit blur, not like it's quite blurred, and towards the right, it's quite in focus. So aperture also controls depth of field and the light that's entering. And like you can see some examples. I could have shown mine, but I all those pictures are in my hard drive, and that hard drive is in my college, so I could not show it. So you'll have to manage with stock photos for the time being. And like here also you can see in this example the f-stop might be can be low, for example 1 by 8 or like 1 by 3.5, 1 by 5, that can be the f-stop. And for this one that might be like higher than 10. So for like a macro or portrait, f-stop, the aperture value is preferred to be like it's preferred to keep it low, so that like the main subject is in focus and the background is blurred away, so that the focus is on the subject. And for landscape, obviously you need the beauty of the landscape, so you need everything in focus. So aperture value should be high so that everything comes in focus. Same goes here. And yeah, the if you make the aperture value around 1 by 22, that gives a nice sun star effect. Like as you can see here, it gives a effect where the rays are coming out of the sun, as you can see near the sun. So that gives a nice effect to it. And after that, we'll be moving to shutter speed. Okay. So before moving to shutter speed, does anyone have to ask anything regarding this?
Does the number of plates matter uh, as it is in the
Yeah,
camera?
that won't matter unless you are shooting like at the sun star. The number of plates will affect the number of rays, like affect the lines that you are seeing in the sun. That would affect the number of blades. Yeah, but as far as I know, higher number of blades are preferred. Like usually in mid range section, they are a bit there are less number of blades as compared to higher range lenses, so it might affect, but I have uh, like a little idea about that. So after that, we have shutter speed. So shutter speed, everyone knows about shutter speed. It's the length of time the sensor is exposed to light. So like we can do very creative stuff with the shutter speed actually, as you can see in this picture. The light trails that are made by the cars, it's very creative, and it's preferred, like everyone can click it. You can even click the same picture with the phone. Just you require a tripod and like you're good to go. Yeah. Using a slow shutter speed, you can click light trails similar to this picture. You can click picture similar to this, so like keeping your shutter speed around 30 seconds. You can do the same thing. And if I show you an example similar to this, and yeah, slow shutter speed can also be used in landscapes. Yeah, as you can see here, but for this you would require an ND filter, because the camera is not able to compensate the light that's coming. So for the pictures like this, require an ND filter. Yeah, but that would help you in clicking the picture here.
Basically, shutter speed, so if there is more, so there is less exposure of light and less motion blur.
I didn't get you exactly.
Like if the shutter speed is less, as you have said, so there would be
Yeah.
more exposure of light. And
No, the
as
shutter
you have
speed is
shown
more
in
here.
on the
So, in this picture that I have mentioned here, the shutter speed is like more than 10 to 20, like more than 10 and 20 seconds. And if I would say, if you're talking about motion blur, like if you increase the shutter speed, you'll get more motion blur. And if you decrease the shutter speed, like if you keep the shutter speed at around 1 by, like anything less than 1 by 100 would give you very crisp images. I'll get to I have images similar to that. I'll show you in a bit. And the motion blur thing, as you mentioned, is more used in videography. Like if you are recording in 60 fps, so it's preferred that you keep the shutter speed double to your frame rate. So if you're recording in 60 fps, you would prefer to keep your shutter speed at around 1 by 20. 1 by 20 is not 1 by 120 is not available. So 1 by 125 is the closest. So we'll go for that. And same goes for 30 fps. 30 fps, you'd like to keep your shutter speed at around 1 by 60, so that the motion is smooth. And for motion blur, 24 fps is preferred because that gives a more cinematic feel and a good motion blur to it. And now moving to fast shutter. Like fast shutter, as the name suggests, it's it gives you crisp images to you. So as you can see in the image here, and this one, and this one is actually kind of mix of fast and slow. So the shutter speed might be around 1 second. So that gives a very dramatic effect to this photo. So yeah, who had the question for motion blur?
I asked.
Yeah. So did I clear a doubt or is it still there?
No, no, it's clear.
Okay, then we'll move forward. Then we have ISO. So ISO would give you the sensitivity of the sensor. So if I see if I see here, the picture to the left shows at ISO 1/100. Oh, sorry, not 1/100, at 100, and at the right it's at 3200. So it's preferred to keep your ISO low, so that you get a very clean image. But like sometimes if you are shooting at low light and you can decrease your shutter speed, so anyways you'll have to increase your ISO. So like, but it's preferred to keep it low. So that's up to the situation on lighting and like other factors. As you can see here, the shutter speed, like sorry, the ISO here also like gives the sensitivity, more sensitivity to the sensor. So the more the ISO, the more will be the more will be the sensitive the sensor. So the ISO is also what can I say? Uh, ISO would be the picture when you are clicking. So the ISO will matter on how much light is available. Is it day or night? That would also matter. Like if you are clicking astrophotography, since you have if you're clicking stars, for example, so you'll have a shutter speed of around 1/30, around 30 seconds. So there you can decrease the ISO till 1000, not 1000, yeah, till 1000, so that you can at least get a crisper image. Yeah, and at night also, it's preferred to keep your ISO low so that you don't get grainy pictures, and graininess is also like reflected very well in dark pictures, so that's why it's preferred there. And yeah, I mentioned it here, higher the ISO, faster the sensor will react to light. Yeah, in the picture here you can see, so this picture like the shutter speed would be around 30 seconds. That's the max a camera can get. So after, yeah, you can get more than that with the function called as bulb. That's like the bulb function can give you a shutter speed as per you want. You can get a shutter speed of around 1 second. Oh, sorry, not 1 second, 1 minute, 2 minutes. That's up to you. Then we have exposure triangle. So it's basically a relationship. It's basically a theoretical subject, but that doesn't matter. Like unless and until you have a good grip at your camera. So basically, what can I say? Like if you're clicking a picture, let's say any picture, and you have a constant shutter speed, so and you can't decrease the shutter speed, so you'll have to compensate the light using aperture or ISO. So it's basically that, like if you keep two of the parameters constants, for say example aperture and ISO, so you'll have to adjust the lighting of your photo using ISO. So that's the thing. That's basically aperture triangle that tells the relationship between the two. So if you change one parameter, the like if you change the shutter speed, you'll have to change aperture or the ISO to compensate for the shutter speed. That's the thing. And going to camera modes, yeah. So basically, there are different camera modes, right, in your camera, and but like the common of them is M manual, A is aperture priority, S is shutter priority, and P is for programmed auto. So manual mode, everyone knows, like you'll in manual mode you'll have a full control of your camera from the shutter speed, aperture, ISO, the white balance, the bracketing, and like the, can I say, the look and feel, everything that you want, you'll have the full control over the camera. So like it's preferred to click in, like if you're exploring, it's preferred to click in manual so that you get to know your camera very well. And like photography is also about how much you know your camera. So if you know your camera well, you don't need to change lenses, you don't need to change anything. You just like can blindly change the settings of your camera without like opening your eyes. So that's how well you should know your camera for clicking pictures. So that's manual mode. If we go to aperture priority mode, it's like the aperture is constant. Like you set the aperture, the camera won't interfere with it. Uh, and the other settings that I mentioned, that's shutter speed and ISO. So ISO will also be controlled by you, and the camera will compensate the shutter speed according to the lighting. That's according to lighting of the picture, and that's aperture priority. As the name suggests, the aperture will be the priority that will be set by you. And next we have shutter priority. Shutter priority is the same, just that you set the shutter and the aperture will be set by the camera. And in aperture priority, in shutter priority, two things will be constant. They'll be set by the user. That's that's ISO and shutter speed and the aperture. That's like respectively. And the rest of the thing, like in as a if you say in aperture priority, the ISO and aperture is constant and the shutter speed is adjusted by the camera, and same goes for shutter speed. In shutters in sorry not in shutter speed, shutter priority. In shutter priority, ISO and shutter speed is set by the user, and the aperture is controlled by the camera. And programmed auto is like, you can adjust the aperture, and like it's a vice versa. It's a mix of aperture priority and shutter priority. So if you set aperture, then it'll adjust the shutter speed. If you adjust the shutter speed, it'll adjust the aperture. It's something to that. So do you guys have any questions related to camera modes, or if you want something more? Hello.
Acha, I had to ask one question.
Mm-hmm.
If if anyone is total newbie to DSLR and all,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to click some like really good pictures and all stuff, like
Mm.
not that good, of course, it will be, but still, is P mode preferable or any other mode, program mode?
First, I would prefer, like, everyone starts with the auto mode, obviously. So P mode would be preferred, but I would prefer that you can play with the manual mode more often, so that you get to know your camera well. Like, first, if you know your camera well, the other things can be adjusted. Like if you are, let's say you are clicking a picture in a concert, so the things happening on the stage is not like favorable to you, like it's not under your control. So when you know your camera well, you can just click pictures moving around here and there. You don't need to do anything. So I would prefer that you hover around manual mode and explore that. But P mode is also a good option. Like for starting, you can like start with the P mode, get to
Okay,
know your
okay.
camera well, then move to manual mode.
Hmm.
Anything
Yeah,
else?
sorry, I interrupted someone actually earlier. Yeah, you can go on. Say.
Someone must change something in this. No one? Okay, then we'll move forward. Then we have grids. So grids actually help you to set a composition in the screen. So I'll show you some examples of grid. So like this is the basic grid that's available in your camera. This is called the natural ratio. Like how can I say? Each and every thing that's available in nature is set to a perfect ratio. I forgot the ratio, but yeah, that's the thing. These two. So these two are the, what can I say? Yeah, this is the ratio for the. This is called as the golden ratio. So you can set the picture here. I'll show you some examples. of how you can frame your composition using grids. Yeah, here you can see the horizon is set to this grid, and like similar to this, you can just frame your composition in the camera with the help of grids. Actually, grids are much more helpful. I'll show you one more. Just a second. Yeah, here you can see. Actually, this is a crop photo, but the thing is, three-fourths of the three-fourths of the picture is filled by the sky, and one-fourth is filled by the land. And here in between, you can see the horizon. So that's also a good composition, you can say. And extras, I would, if anyone is interested in astrophotography, you can like DM me. I'll let you know what and where you can do. Even I do some astrophotography, like astro as in star trails and stuff like that. So if you want to do more, then just DM me on my Insta or WhatsApp. I'll provide you with my number in the chat section. And if you want to, I do have a thing. I like if you does someone know about reverse macro photography?
No, भैया.
Reversing your lens and putting it in the
No.
DSLR.
Oh, Pratham भैया आप आ गए. Actually, yes, that's the thing. So reverse macro is a technique with which you can click macro photos using your kit lens. So like there's no need to buy any fancy macro lenses and all. So the best lens is actually a kit lens. You can do many things with it, and macro photography is one of them. So it's not possible to me. It's not possible for me to show it right now. But yeah, if you like, I can show you. I can record the video and send it to you if anyone wants to try it at their home. So that's a thing.
Yeah, that would be great if you share that in the WhatsApp group. Other than that, can you also talk about mobile photography a bit?
Yeah, mobile photography. It's like, what can I say? Do you have like, does anyone have any question on mobile photography? You can just tell me. I'll clear your doubts. Like anything you want to ask.
Like I personally had one, like I have used both DSLR and mobiles to do manual photography.
Mm-hmm.
And in the mobile's manual modes, it's a bit confusing because the lens doesn't react as well as the DSLR one.
Mm.
So how to counter that?
So what, like, are you talking about the focal length that's in the camera or the settings that are there?
Yes, so settings allow you to set the settings as such in the DSLR, but the lens doesn't always react as it should in the DSLR.
So you're talking about the lens in your phone, right?
Yes.
Yes. So that's the thing. You have that's the difference between difference between DSLR and camera mobile photography. So you don't have much control over your lens focal length or any other settings. Like that, yeah, that's there. Like you can control the shutter speed, the ISO, and the aperture. But the aperture is actually like digitally and not it's not mechanical. So that's the thing. So yeah, mobile photography is good. Like even I do it, but you don't have much control over the settings that are there. So that's why like DSLRs are made so that you can have full control on that.
Can you elaborate on the subject of focal length?
Yeah. So focal length. What can I say? So focal length can be see. What do you like? What do you want to know about focal length? Is like every topic is a very vast topic. What do you want to know?
Like in the association with depth of field.
Mhm. Okay, in association with depth of field. So there are lenses, like there are various lenses, but if you say some specific lenses, if you name it, there are some lenses called as in the focal length of 200 to 400 that's specifically made for wildlife. and those focal lens are, and those lenses are specifically made so that the subject is in focus and the background is like blurred. So they have a range, like a vast range of aperture from around f2.8 to around f14 or 16, like maybe 22. That depends on the manufacturer of the lens. So yeah, that's there for wildlife photography. And for portrait, they are like the prime lenses, 50 mm, 35 mm, 85 mm. Those are there. Those have an aperture ranging from 1.5 to around 22 or 25, I guess. So those are there. So like as I mentioned, lower the f-stop value, like the aperture value, the more you'll have depth of field in a picture, and the more distinguishable will be a subject from the background. And focal length, what can I say about? Like if you have any questions about focal length, you can ask me. I can show you a picture of a star trail that I clicked. Just a sec. Like that was just an experiment that I did, but due to light pollution, that didn't turn out well. This picture is like a mixture, like is a mixture of around 160 pictures that I took in a span of 1 hour, I guess. So, but yeah, as you can see, like there are breaks in between the lines. That's because of mist and light pollution that's there. So that's the thing. You, for star trails, you need a very clear sky, and like you need very light, very less light pollution around you, so that you get clear view of this of the picture. And towards the side, you can see there like it got blurry because of the mist that accumulated on the lens. So that's a star trail that I clicked.
One thing,
Yeah.
what's the best way to capture a light leak?
What's the best way to capture lightly? So that would be like if you decrease your aperture to a value of around f16, f14, or f22. So the lightly would be reduced, but it will still be there. So you can counter the lightly with that. But remember that you'll have to adjust the shutter speed according to that. But that's the thing. That's depend upon various factors actually. If the subject is moving fast or moving slow, that also matters. If it's moving fast, you can't decrease the shutter speed, and you'll have to capture the picture with the lightly and correct it in post production.
Speaking of which, can you just talk about how photo manipulation? We are getting into graphic design, but how photo manipulation could be helped with the pictures taken?
Photo manipulation, as in color correction and all those things.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically, here comes one part. If you are clicking pictures and you want to like correct them in post production, then everyone highly prefers that the pictures are clicked in RAW. So the difference between RAW and JPEG would be like in RAW photo, the file remembers at what settings you have clicked the picture, and those settings are exported to the software like Lightroom or Photoshop, and that helps the software to correct a picture in a very, like what can I say, in a very accurate way. But in JPEG, the file only contains the picture and not the data. So the software corrects anything, like if I say the temperature or the uh, temperature, exposure, or anything else. So the software doesn't have any idea that at what settings the picture was taken. So it adjusts the settings according to itself. Like it sets a value seeing at the picture, and it sets the value according to itself. So that's the drawback of JPEG. So everyone prefers RAW if you have color correcting or doing post production. And Anyone? Anything?
I wanted to ask about the uses of anamorphic lenses.
Anamorphic lenses. I haven't used the anamorphic lens, and I don't know actually.
Okay, any final questions before we move on to the graphic design part, guys?
No, Bhaiya.
After this, can you share some sources through which we can just expand and just go for a dive by ourselves?
Okay. I'll share some links in the WhatsApp group. Yeah, if you want, if you want if you want like ideas for good mobile photography, there's an Instagram page like of a person called as Audit, I guess. If you've heard of him, like he clicks most of his pictures with the phone, throughout his day. You can follow him for that. So he gives a good insights about like how to click how to click with mobile uh, like throughout a day. You can say kind of he's vlogging with photos. So do follow him. I'll mention his Insta ID. There's no chat section here. Okay, I'll give you his Instagram ID in the WhatsApp group.
Is that all, guys? If yes, then we'll move on to graphic design. If you,
Someone
yep.
just asked about anamorphic lens, right?
Mm-hmm.
I Yeah, I'll just like if I can just say about it. It's
Sure,
like
sure, brother.
it's actually used for what do you say? Like not wide angle, but for a more field of view shots. Like for example, most of the cinematographers, like the people who are responsible for the cinematic photography, they use such lens to capture the whole shot of a movie. And it's not more like you don't use it for general photography like we do, like for like maybe how normal portraits ke liye or some trip you're going on a trip. People don't use it for such general purposes. It's mostly used for that wide aspect ratio of it, and it's mostly used in the film industry rather than like general common purpose.
Yeah, that's the thing. And one thing also that differentiates anamorphic lens and normal lenses, they don't have autofocus in them. The normal lenses that we use have a motor inside them that focuses the focal length that matches the focal length, but the anamorphic lenses don't have a such motor, so the focus needs to be adjusted by hand, or like there are external motors that are attached to them so that they can adjust the focal length.
So basically, like your prime lenses are also in a way anamorphic lenses.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, and I guess they have a fixed focal length.
Yeah, in prime lenses, you can't even zoom in, and like you have to like go towards or away from the subject to get the
Mhm.
proper focus.
Same goes for anamorphic, I guess. Even anamorphic lenses have fixed focal length.
Okay, we'll take further questions at the end of the meet.
Okay.
Now let's move on to the graphic design section. Thank you so much, Shanada. For graphic design, we have Avishek with us. He'll be leading you through the process. So Abhishek, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Suresh. So basically, today we are gonna do some behind the talks and all. We see so many posters going around, everything. So how is all that made? What's behind that? How do we create that? What's the rules? I might not say rules and all because it's very experimental in that basis. So we'll just look around and all that. So basically, from our college, the club De-Desino is looking after all this graphic design work mostly. So today I'm gonna present to you all that and various competitions like Kalakshetra right now you might have seen. Then there's a upcoming competition Thought, all that designing stuff, and every video works are done through us. Plus you can see some of the recent posters. Like this is one of the posters of Kalakshetra. Kalakshetra has many posters. So it's I'll just I can zoom in. Wait. I'll just show you this files later. It's like Basically, you select a font or a theme-based font mostly. Then you mostly work in layers. Okay, layers is the most important thing here. So like you keep one above the other, one above the other, and then arrangement of it. That's most important. All this stuff. Okay, so just get along with this. Yeah. So the softwares basically we use are like not any professional or anything. Everybody is just a learner and all. Me too. I'm just sharing what, all the knowledge I've earned and all in the year of span. So you can use Adobe Photoshop, then Adobe Illustrator, and for like real beginners, you can just try it out with Canva. Okay, so when I was a beginner in all this stuff, just a year back or a few months back, I guess, it's not been long. I started off with Canva. My first designs were from Canva. I submitted my first competition design from Canva. So no big deal, you can make there also. But then you can just learn the concepts and advance to these Photoshop and Illustrator because they are really helpful. And there are a lot of things which you can't do in Canva. I'll just show you the Canva interface and all. This is the like mostly the Canva interface, and like you go to create design, you know, just scroll around anything you want. Okay, just a post, story, Instagram story, Facebook post, logos. You can create logos. Yeah, that's a thing. Like all these things. Okay, I just want to ask. I'll just wait once again. How many of you have used Photoshop or Illustrator before?
Me.
Just raise your hands. I just want to see the numbers and all. Okay, great. And anyone not knowing that, not an issue. You will just learn. I'm also learning the same. I don't know many things inside it. I'm also exploring. So you'll just see there. So basically today we'll start off with a simple design from Canva because a beginner will always not go into complex structures and all. So you can just play around with simple things and all. First, just I'll show some simple designs, which earlier some designs. So you see these designs and all. There's nothing much. You see there's a font, there's a straight line, there's this. Here you get the templates you can reference from, like you want a teacher's day template. So see, you get so many templates from here. You can reference them. You can use some elements out of these. In Canva, you can do that. In Photoshop and Illustrator, you just have a open canvas and you have to download everything, get it from Google, some images, some elements and all. Then you have to start off with it. And here you get it. So elements, see, I need something like this. I need something like this. I need some petals or some flowers. So I'll just type on flowers. We get some flower, real good flower designs, right? We get it. Then you click on graphics. You'll get only these things, not any images and all. You can directly use these. Okay. So I'll just delete this one and just show you. Supposedly I get this here. Just a sec. Supposedly I get this here. I'll just adjust the size. You just click on it. You just hold it and resize it. No big deal. So here it is. Then you can edit its images, the colors of it. Sorry. You can custom colors. You get the if you have like suitable color or a particular color in your mind, you can type out the color code. You'll just get it. Or you just scroll around. You like this color or directly black or something in here which is a darker color. Okay. Anything contrasting to it. So here it goes black. Then if you have a background, okay, yeah, if you have a background, you can edit the image here. Okay, sorry, not this one. basically. No. You can edit the images like here in edit image. Basically, you'll get you'll get temperature, then you'll get the color corrections like Visnet and all the humidity and all, which you get in basic mobile editing apps and all. You can do all that here. Then there's text. So here you'll get a number of text, which is like this is limited text. Okay. In Photoshop or Illustrator, you can just download any text and you can just install it. It will get added up there. So you can just do that. Here you're limited to something. Also, here are some samples of the text like you can use and all. So you just play around with these. Just check. Just bring it here. Just click on it. It's here. Just check how this looks here. So if this doesn't suit me, I'll just go here. This, or I'll just delete the with delete button. Okay. So you can just experiment out it here. There are many things. And in the font, you have heading, you have subheading, you have a body. But you can directly resize it. There's a text. Supposedly there's no text. Add a heading. Add happy Teachers Day. So by default, it's an Open Sans Extra, but we have a number of fonts here. Okay, so you just select any font here. Supposedly, I just want this. Okay, then here you can just resize it from here, or you directly given a number you want, and you can change the text color also here. Okay, you can just easily do that. Here is the placing bar. You can do it from here. This is the bold button. You just have to select the text. Bold it up. This is basically the alignment. Left align, page align, right align, center align. This is the letter spacing, line spacing. Supposedly letter spacing is the individual letters gap, and line spacing is there are two lines. Okay, so I just changed this space between them. See the difference? So it's basically that. So in Canva, you can basically create simple designs. Okay, and they really turn out good. So nothing just like if I don't know Illustrator or if I don't know all these things, I can't do designing and all stuff. It's really simple. All these designs and all. I'll just show you. These certificates of Cinemates and all, these are all designed on Canva. Okay, like you don't have much time, so you just do it on Canva. All these things, these are designed on Canva. Your winner posters are mostly designed on Canva. And these things. Okay, we are done with Canva. So in fonts, basically, you have a formal font and informal font. In formal, mostly you use serif and sans serif in most of the designs and all. And the other thing, in a single poster or anything which you post, okay, any design you make or any work you do, the maximum amount of fonts you use maybe the 2-3. Okay, that's the most. In exceptional cases you can use 4, because you don't want everything to look just like untidy or not in place. Okay, so that's the thing. And in informal, you can just go with a theme based font. Okay, so like anything you have formal, like supposedly I will give example of SMIT. Suppose SMIT is organizing some coding workshop, okay, coding event or a coding workshop. So what you guys gonna do? You have to design a poster, So there you can't just put some funky fonts and all. Okay, some Halloween fonts won't work there. So there you have to use these. Versus just a recent example of Kalakshetra. So Kalakshetra is basically Sanskrit based and all. So like we use some traditional type of it gives a traditional look kind of a thing. Fonts there. Okay, I'll just go with the Kalakshetra font. Okay, yeah. So just see this font. This is not sans serif or anything. Just it's the just theme based font. Okay, you just use a theme based font. Here I add Halloween. Okay, so in Halloween I can't use this or I can't use a sans serif because it just looks too simple. So we just use this. Okay, see the font of Ghostly. See the font of Halloween Horror. Okay, so basically you just have to go with the theme in informal. Okay, and the maximum I told you is just see here. Okay, this is one font. Okay, and the second font I'm using here. Okay, you can see the arrow, right? My arrow.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So the Kalashitra font we use, that's the number one font I used, and this is the second font, and the max was this third title sponsor font. Okay. So that also we need to keep it a little professional and all. So we just looked into that. Yeah. So tips and tricks, the thing which I got or I experienced is you explore the software, you learn things from it, learn the shortcut keys. I'll just mention a few, but like you, when you play around with the software, you get to know much things than what it is taught. Okay, like when you do anything, when you do a workshop or when you draw, if you see something or if someone teaches you, you won't understand it that good if you experience it by your own. So learn some shortcut keys out there by doing and all. And the most important thing, look up some images on Google, Pinterest, something, okay, and just take some reference and all there. So you will get a plenty of things to see there, and just pick it up. Think of like I'll just go here on Google, okay. I'll just put up some event posters. What's this? Sorry, man. Yeah. So basically these, okay. So now just think of these, okay. So if you analyze this, just think of if you want to make this, okay. So just see up what's in here, okay. You got a blue background, then maybe there's a texture up here, which is then color graded as blue. Then you got another layer here of orange. These are the brush strokes, okay. These are basically a brush strokes made in Photoshop. So you just create something in Photoshop, you just group them up, clip it, and you have a PNG of it, and you can use it. Then you got a square here, okay. So basically here they have cut the square in several parts, and they have overlapped it with these, okay. Somewhere the orange image is below the square, somewhere it's on top of the square. Okay, I don't think so. It's on top anywhere. No. Yeah. So basically these are this, and there's a font here. So just break it down into simple structures and then try to make these things. Okay, you'll get a better idea of it. You just ping it up somewhere and just search it and then try. Okay, like I and nothing that these are some really professional posters and all. Like I can't make these and all. Of course, you'll fail. Okay, I'll just show you the first design I made. It was a blunder. Okay, where is it? Like Yeah, like these things. Okay, I started off with these. I started off making these. So I just tried these and all stuff. Then here I got into some layers and all. I got a font, I got a different layer here. This is an image downloaded from Google. Okay. And here I've reduced the opacity of it because I want the text to be more visible. These text on it, I want it to be more visible. If I just get it to 100, this is not that much. Okay. Like the light behind this is overlapping this. So I'll just reduce the opacity from here. Okay. Opacity is mainly the visibility of it. It's less visible than this. I want my fonts and all to be more visible, all what I've written. So basically that's it. So yeah, I started off like these. These were some really, you can say some new posters and all. But yeah, so don't be afraid of like experimenting things. And now you can see, you have seen my recent designs and all. It's improved a lot, of course. I too feel it has improved. So yeah, so be experimental and all. Now we'll go into the color scheme patterns. The colors we use in the workspace or the designs or the posters we make. Okay, so this is basically a color wheel. So color wheel for graphic design is just a circle. Okay, you have just contrasting colors and you have all the colors here. You have different sections out here, right? You have different color sections to like symbolize the relationship between colors. Okay, so these are basically, you can see these are cool colors. Okay, these you might have noticed in the mobile editing apps and all. Okay, so basically you have the warmth button. Okay, you just adjust it to the left or right. When you adjust it to the right, your photo gets a little bright effect, right? You have the reddish, orangish, yellowish type of lights and all. It becomes warmth, and when you reduce it, it goes to like some vintage kind of a thing. Okay, so these are basically that kind of feel. Okay, just it's basically on the vibe you want of the poster. You want it to be bright, you want it to be dark, you want it to be a little energetic and all. So you go on these themes, and also always go with the opposite of it. Okay, so if I'm taking red and all, these are different shades of red. Okay, red, orange, light orange and all, dark red. So go with the opposite of it. You see, try out the opposite colors, it will be contrasting. Okay, so do that. And there's also a rule in it, but you can just alter something in the rule. But this 60% out here, just don't alter with it. You can alter with it, take it down to 40%, I'll say. Okay, not less than that. The 60-30 rule is, it states that 60% of the room or the workspace, the design or something which you make, it should be a dominant color. Like your base color. Here my base color is like something like cream or something. So this is the base color. 30% of it, like 30%, it should be secondary color or the texture. Here I have a texture here. I don't have a color here right now, but I have these textures, or I have this leaf kind of a structure. Okay. So here I'll reference it to that. Okay. And 10% should be your add-ons and extras. I feel this wasn't here. Okay. The thing, the star marks and all, this wasn't here. So I just thought it was looking very plain and all. So what should I do? So I've already added leaves and it already looks simple, but something was missing. There's something you get a like instinct of a feeling that something is missing, that there's no spark in it. Okay. So you just add that 10% according to what you want. Okay. And you can just alter with that. I'll just show you this 60-30 ratio here. I'll just take the poster which I used for your this basically this event poster. Okay. So here my primary dominant color is this violet color. Okay. I've used this violet color in most of the places, and my secondary colors were a little bit pinkish and the white. These are my secondary colors. Okay. So I've used it on that basis. And the third thing, which is your 10% add-ons. So if I had given a only a hexagon here, it might have looked just plain thing, okay. But I wanted to be a little attractive. So here there are some pyramids type, kites type structures and all 3D structures. So you just add it, then you just add some glow layers to it behind this. Okay, these are all, so these are actually many layers out there. I'll show you the file and I'll show you the layers in it behind it. So this is the basic structure of it, the 60-30 layer structure. So I'll just move forward. Yeah, I'll just show you this. Before this, I'll just give the announcement of today. Okay, so basically we have arranged a poster making competition for you all. Okay, so every one of you attending or one of you who are not attending, anyone can participate. I'll just help you out with some tips and tricks here. I'll just show you a little bit of demo, what you can use and all, what can simplify your work basically. Okay, I'll just use this and poster making competition. The theme will be basically designing a tourist leaflet. Okay, like I stay in a city like Mumbai, so I'm designing a tourist leaflet to visit at least two places. Okay, the minimum of it will be two places. Designing a tourist leaflet which has two places at least, and giving a just a two-liner or three-liner brief description. Show your creativity in it. Show your, you can add images. You can add. You have to have images, of course, because you're just gonna show what you have in the tourist leaflet. And you can add some creativity of your own. You can structure it up like how you want it. So I'll just show you some basic things. If you're working on Illustrator and Photoshop, so what's the time? I guess just a sec. It's 7:50. I guess I don't have time for Photoshop, but I'll just go on with Illustrator today. And every detailed lecture of these will be done by De-Desino later. No worries about that. Photoshop, Illustrator, everything will be covered. Plus video editing and Premiere Pros and everything will be covered later in De-Desino workshops. Till then, I'll just show you the Illustrator interface. Okay, if anyone doesn't have an Illustrator or Photoshop in their device, you can just like, of course it is paid, but you get it on Google. You have ways, you have some cracks, you have some CC versions of it. Just Google it up or something. And if you still don't get it or you have anything, you can just DM me. I'll just help you out with that. Okay. So starting off with, I'll reference it with the latest posters of what have been made for y'all. The posters which has been going. I'll just create a new. This is like you can create a new thing, okay, over here. You can customize it according to how you want it. So you want a 4x5 design, and these are basically the different things. These are the pixels. The basically you all see the Instagram post. Every one of you all might be on Instagram, so you all know it. So Instagram post, what's the size of an Instagram post? Anybody?
Square, I guess.
If anybody knows. Square,
Square.
but what is the ratio or what is the pixels of it if anyone knows it?
We can do it in. Can't we do it in any pixel? 1080 or something like that.
1080 x 1080.
1080s. 1080.
Yeah, actually I stopped sharing my screen, sorry. Wait, yeah. So basically, yeah, so the normal square posters were 1080 by 1080, okay. And anyone knows the portrait ratio? Ratio of pixels?
Yeah, 4:5.
Right. And landscape?
Landscape. No, I don't know that.
Okay, like the basic ratio is 16:9 or 9:16, I guess. Vice versa or something. I just
Yeah,
said it.
16:9. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you can create these. This is the interface. You all can see it, right? Illustrator interface.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So you create a new project here. So you just select pixels. don't go into inches or something else. Okay, you can just, if you do inches, okay, the quality will be degraded. It will be degraded a lot because we work in pixels. Okay, so we work in pixels or we work in points. So go on with pixels. If I want a Instagram post, I'll get this one. Okay, I'll just get a portrait post, I guess. Oh, sorry. Yeah, this is basically the Instagram portrait post, and this is the artboard. Okay, so artboard is basically the thing that you have a workspace. Okay, you have a big workspace here. I'll just show you. I'll just show this again to you. Yeah. So this is your workspace. Okay. So if you need to have 5 to 6 posters you want to post, or 5 to 6 photos of your which you have to do some kind of designing. So you won't open again and again some Illustrator files and all. Okay. So you can just select there. So you can just click on the artboard and select how many artboards you want. And if you press on Alt, then you zoom out. Okay, you can't zoom in or anything just like this. You have to press Alt, then zoom in, zoom out. Or what you can do is just to move around here, press on the space bar. If anyone wants to note down, you can note down the shortcut keys and all. Yeah, you can press the space bar and you can use your mouse and move this around. Okay, you can zoom in, press the space bar, go on top of it, and just move around like this. Yeah, so basically, okay, I'll just show you another one. Okay, yeah, so the color mode always mostly use CMYK color mode. There are two color modes. Okay, sometimes we use RGB, but most of the times we can use this. Okay, and all these settings and all, I want you to get it now because it will take time, the rest everything. Okay, so I'll just go on with it.
Bro, can I share a trick?
Yeah. Sure.
You just click on this zoom button or click Z.
Yeah.
Then hold on in the left, hold on the left button and move from right to left or left to right. Left button.
Like what you're trying to do, just tell me. I might know it. I've just not shown you, I guess, till now.
Zoom in, zoom out.
Okay. Wait. I don't have my
Click
mouse here. I'm not at my home.
Oh, acha.
Not at my house, actually. I'm using my cursor from this. Just a sec. Actually, I'm not able to do it right now because I don't have my mouse.
Okay.
So no worries. Yeah, you can just do it like how he said. You can just press Z. You can just click, and you can just scroll. It will zoom in, zoom out, and all stuff. So basically, this is the selection tool. Okay. So if I just this is the selection tool. This is the pen tool. This is the curvature tool. This is the rectangle, or this is the shape tool basically. If you need a line, okay, I just drew a line. I need some color inside it. I'll just go on with a white color. I need a stroke, which will be outside of it. Okay, I'll just set it to black for right now, which is by default color. Then the width of the stroke, I'll just set it to 10. I'll just set it to 15. Okay. Then okay, my cursor is now on this shapes tool and all. Okay. Now if I click here, it will show me. It will show this. It's not basically an error, but it will show these things. What is the length? What is the angle of these? But you can't play around with it, or you can't modify anything. You go back again to the selection tool. You basically zoom in most probably because that you want it to like move around. Then you can just do it. You can directly also do it, no problem. You can just move this around how much you want. You can just do anything with it. Okay. So this is one thing. Here you have multiple things. So you go on it, you right click, you have a rectangle tool, you have ellipse, which is basically the circle tool. You right click, you just scroll and all. Okay. Now this might be uniform, this might not be uniform. Okay. Considering I'm just doing this. I'm just doing this like this. Okay. So this is just an oval. This is not a circle. Okay. If I want a perfect circle, I'll just go on. I'll press on shift. Okay. I'll press down shift. Then I'll do it. I get a perfect circle of any size. I can do it of any perfect size. You have a perfect circle with it. Okay. And now if you want to alter it, if you want to reduce the size, I'm not holding down any buttons. Okay. I'll just do it with a left click and I'll just do this thing, changes and all. It's not uniform, right? It's changing the circle shape and all. Okay. And if I have to go back to the original shape I want, you can just go with Control Z. Okay. And redo the thing, Control Shift Z. So I want it to be uniform. So what I'll basically do is click on this, go to this, I'll click down, I'll press down shift, left click and then drag. Okay. So shift is basically necessary for uniformity of it. And then you have a brush tool here. Okay, you can just fill everything here. You can just draw something. Okay, it's up to you. You do anything with it. So here basically is the type tool. I'll just click here. I get a very small font. Okay, it's not visible. I'll just go here. Now my cursor is on text tool. I can't do anything of it. I can't increase the size. I just can alter with the text inside this. I can just change all what it's here. Okay, I'll just type out something. But if I have to change the size, if I do it normally, just like I said, without the pressing shift, it will go into any shape, any direction, and any non-uniform basically. Okay, but this also happens with shift and I'll get uniform. Doesn't matter if it's an object, if it's an image, or if it's anything. You can do everything with the shift and all, it will get uniform. And one more thing, if you have any images here, okay, if you get in images in Illustrator, they save it in a vector form. The Photoshop doesn't save it or use it in the software as a vector form. So in a vector form, what the benefit you get is the quality of the images, they don't degrade. You will have the same intact quality. Like in WhatsApp, if you send a picture, if you send a direct picture from the gallery, so that basically it reduces the quality while sending. But yeah, but when you send it as a document, you get a more clear picture. You get a good quality picture. Okay, you see the size of the picture reduces. Okay, so the pixels and all, it gets altered here. The pixels here, it gets altered and it reduces the quality of the picture. Same as with here. So basically, if you do anything here, I'll just get some pictures here. It will, like, if we zoom in, it will just blur the picture. Okay, if any software you go, you can just drag drop any picture in Illustrator. Just wait, I'm in my full screen mode. You can basically drag drop it from anywhere. For now, I can just place it. I'll go to this. I'll go to my desktop PPT for use. I'll just drag down this, or I'll just drag down any picture of it. Wait. Okay, yeah. So you just place it. You expand it uniform. So you enlarge it. So the quality here isn't getting compromised. Okay, it is keeping it intact. You do anything, but while if you do it in other softwares, okay, if you also use Photoshop, but then you do it, so the every time you do any changes with it, okay, you alter with it anything, so it will just cut down your image's quality. Okay. It will just cut down the quality of the image every time I'm just zooming in. I'm enlarging it. Doing this. Every time I do this, supposedly I'm doing it with Photoshop. The quality of the image is degrading every time. Okay. Then if I zoom in, I'll just go like I'll just see these. Okay. But I don't want such zoom in. I can just use it because my supposedly if I'm gonna post this, I'll just keep it here. Yeah. I'll just keep it here. I need this size because this is your basic Instagram post size. Okay. So nothing is being degraded or it's getting the same quality. Nothing is getting degraded here. Okay. So that's the thing. And then you have the rotate tool. I'll just show you with this one. Sorry. Yeah. So you select the rotate tool and you can just rotate it in any direction, okay? Or what you can do is you just come to its corner, okay? You see this thing, okay? You see this, you can rotate it at any degree. And basically, are you getting these green lines, pink lines and all? Are you able to see it, guys?
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, these lines are the guidelines, okay? These are some reference lines for like horizontal lines, vertical lines for the alignments and all. There are just smart guidelines option. See, yeah, hide guide, log guide. Okay, if I hide these, I won't get a reference here. Okay, wait, I messed up something. I messed up something. Wait. Basically, these are used for the alignments and all. Okay, you have various text in here. Okay, so you need it to be in proper one line. So these guidelines basically help you to do that. Okay, you get a reference idea of where you should keep things, how you should keep things and all. So that helps a lot. And here we are at this is eraser tool. You can just erase thing. Or you also get a scissor here. Okay, you can just cut out some part of this. Okay. I'm not using these right now because I'm out of time. I have to show you some demo of your poster making. And this is a gradient tool. Okay, this is a gradient. I'll just open up a file and show you an example of it. My screen is getting shared, right?
Yep.
I'll just show you. Is my voice and screen lagging a bit?
No, it's okay. It's fine.
So basically, before getting into that part, yeah, I forgot about explaining the layers. So this is my artboard. Okay. And here are the layers of it. Okay, all these have many things in it. Okay, like I have this, I have it, I have many such layers from it. Okay, and in here also, if I just ungroup it, you can just group up things. If I just ungroup things and group it again, Then we have different things out here. Okay, so these are basically different elements out here which you can just group it up. Okay, so I'll also teach you grouping right now only. You click on an event, you hold on to shift, you click on the other element, then right click, then group. Okay, then like you have both of these together, you move around, both of these will go anywhere you want. Okay, so again you right click, you want to ungroup it, just ungroup it. So okay, so basically layers are very important in any aspect you do. In Canva, it's hard to keep a track of layers by naming them and all and dragging it up, down, up, down. Okay, so you can just move it front, forward, and all. But you can here you can literally just you have a layer, you can drag it up here. You can just set it down, down.
Excuse
Then
me.
you can just drag it down. Okay.
So
Yeah.
like, how did you create that circle thing? I mean, did
Yeah.
you
This one.
create or did you like drag from somewhere? That yeah, that thing, and also
Yeah.
the another one.
Yeah. You can just create all these things. Okay. Like,
Okay,
I'll
okay,
just start off by very simple thing. If like anyone would have start, I have this. Okay. I have this.
okay.
Basically, this is there's not a direct star. I'll just go out of this and explain. You have it. You have two lines.
Okay, so using these tools, you made that.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I have this line. I'll go into properties. You got everything. Ignore all this part for right now. Okay. You don't need to get into all this. You'll just get confused. What the main 3 4 things for you are the fill, the stroke, and the opacity. Opacity also, if needed, that is also for layers. If you have a plain background, plain light blue background, and you need to add something up, okay, just to make it look a little more attractive or sparky, so you just use that, you just apply that opacity on another layer. I'll show you that, but I'll just show you this. This is selected already, okay. So I'll just click on stroke. I'll just click black. You can increase it. I'll directly increase it to some more visible, 25. Then you go on stroke. See, you got this, I guess, it's zoom enough. Can you see this, all small things?
Yeah,
So basically, this is the end of this. The end of here, this point. Wait, I'll just these end points. If I just curve it, you see there's a curve change here.
yeah.
It's now square. This one has a circle tip of it. Okay. So it applies to both the corners. Okay. So whatever you do applies to both the corners, caps. These corners also, like all these things you can do. Ignore all this stuff. We'll get into details later. These are the basic things you can do. And then you just select this. Okay. You just select it. Control C, Control V. You have this thing. Now what you want to do is you just rotate it. I just showed rotating earlier if you weren't there. Okay. So if you have a line, you can either directly rotate it with the rotate tool, like hold it, rotate it any direction you want. Or what you could do is get to the end of the line and you have this one. Okay. And you can see the degrees here. Like, okay, just wait. Yeah, 260 degrees, 270 degrees and all. And now both of these are parallel and straight. So I got it here, but I want this thing, right? I want this thing. What will I do? I'll just turn it down 180. I'll just drag it onto here. You see this intersect or circle thing? Path, intersect, center. So basically, if I'll just keep this here, it won't go anywhere, right? Like if I come here somewhere around here, so it will intersect, it will show me you're intersecting at this path. Okay, I have this path of it. You're intersecting at this. And where is the center? Yeah, I got the center. So you have it. Then now if I move around these things, it will go individually, right? But I want it to be together. Just like I'm moving this, I want it to be together. So what I'll do, I'll just hold on, shift, click, right click, then group them up. Then I have both of them moving together, right? Then you can change you don't have a fill color here because I haven't given one. You can just fill color and reduce the strokes and all. Sorry, reduce. Okay. So you can just do all that stuff. But for now, I won't show that. And one more thing I was going to show. Um, what was it? Okay, now mind. Yeah, so these things. Before that, so gradient is a thing. If you have a circle right here, okay, you go on to the tools, you select ellipse, you hold on shift, you create a circle. You give it some stroke, you give it a white stroke, you point it out on 10. Still not visible, so I'll just point it out 20. Okay, this fill is none. What fill basically does is it fills up your hollow space. It fills up your hollow space with any color. These are basically the color, the basic colors which you get here. Okay. And this is the color customization palette. You can just select any color here, then you can just change it, customize it according to you, how much you wanted, where you wanted exactly. You can do all that stuff here. For now, I'll just get it down. Wait, yeah. Select the gradient tool. You see this? Here, now you have three types of gradient. This is a linear gradient, there is a radial gradient, there is a freeform gradient. Freeform gradient is basically, it will give you a gradient at any point of part. You click here, you'll get a gradient. You'll click here, your gradient shifts according to how you want it to be. Okay. So I mostly use linear gradient because I need a shadow and a lighting, which of course Ishanuj explained. There will be a shadow at one part, a lighting at another part, of course. You need some lightings and all stuff to know this. So gradient basically does this, okay, and all this stuff here you can do by this, and this this thing you see, you can also like do stuff like you can just curve them up, just curve these, and wait, I'll just show you one more thing. So yeah, basically you can't access this layer. I want this one to be removed, right? I want this one to be removed. I want this thing to be removed, but I can't access it. Why? Because I've just locked this up. I've locked it up in objects because it interrupts me while I'm designing. You can just do that. You can also do it in Canva. You can lock it up. You will get it in the right corner. Okay. So you can basically move around. You can you have unlocked this. Now you can move around all this stuff. So if these things weren't here, if these small things weren't here, yeah. So remember I told you the 60 30 10 color rule. Okay, so my primary color here is this brownish color, and the 30% of it is yellow and white. I'm using both these colors as my secondary color, but I still feel that I have some empty space left and it's not eye-catching or something. I need to add something which like it will fill up the space and all. So what did I do? I just showed you how I created this. Then you change the color and then you add it up. Same goes with this. You can just do all this stuff here. And if you want to, supposedly, you're creating a not circle. I need a rectangle. Yeah. So I need a rectangle. I will fill it up. I'll fill it up with at least white. Doesn't matter. The background and all doesn't. Stroke doesn't matter to me right now because I'm not focusing on that. This is the eyedropper tool. For the shortcut, you can see, you can look at the screen, you're getting an eye. You have an eye button in the keyboard, okay. You just press it, this eyedropper tool, you get it. You pick this color. Here you have the color, filled it, okay, of the color of your artboard. Then you have this color. This is different than black, okay. You have it in fill, but you don't I didn't have it in the color palette back then, okay. So what you can do is you can just drag it here, okay. And these colors are customizable, just like I showed you. I can customize these colors here according to my color, or I can just put down any color code which will give me the color, okay. So these are some things, and one thing which I need to show you all, which you all can use. I don't know if you all want to use, you might, but I'll still just show you. For the poster making competition, what you all have is you need to make a tourist leaflet, right? So of course you need to add up some images. So I told you how to add up some images. None of these, wait. I'll just go on with the circle because I have to change my settings. Sorry, the time. Just wait. Something for right now. I just have this image. Now I have this image. I need to get some part of this image, okay. I don't want this whole image. I want it to be inside this, fit inside this. I just want this part, okay. So what do? I click on this. I then hold on shift. I again click on the picture I want. Then you have an option called make clip mask. So you get it here. It doesn't degrade the quality because it is stored in vector. And this is the main image you wanted, okay. So here also I've selected a circle. Here you see I have a circle here, okay. So what you can basically do is take the circle, okay, take the shape tool here, click on the ellipse tool, create a circle. You have this circle here. Then you have an image which you can just drag drop it from anywhere, or I just showed you, you can just place it, okay. Place it from the location you got. Now what do you basically need is you'll just get this here, and one thing you need it, the circle or the object or anything which you're putting it in has to be above the picture. So the shortcut for it is you can just right click and get it to arrange and do all these things. But the shortcut is which I basically use, bring forward shift control and then right brackets. So you just need to learn this stuff to be just quick, or you can just go on and you can just do it directly here. So I need to bring this forward. I'll click on this photo, then shift, and I'll click on the circle. So the part which is inside the circle will get clip masked, okay. So it will get inside. I'll just right click, make clip mask. So only this part got in and the rest didn't. So you just select the photo, how much you wanted, you place it. Then you have the circle. Just focus on, you have a path. Okay, just select, go on, make flip mask, you just have it. And you can build various shapes like a polygon tool. Okay, so you can just create this one. Okay, it's very big, and just create this one, then just copy paste it. Okay, wait. Just a sec, guys. I'll just cut down the strokes here. Yeah. So I'll just click on that. Control C, Control V. I've got one more. I'll just place it up here. Then again, Control C, Control V. Then you have it. Now I have three similar objects. So I'll just group them up. Click, Shift, hold down Shift, again click. Again, you have to just hold down Shift, okay? And then right click, group. Now you can just move around these objects. So if I were to be here, I want this thing a little smaller. So I just did that. And I want to place it here. Okay. So I don't want to do this again and again all the time. I'll just click on this. I'll just Control C, Control V. I'll just get it. I'll just place it here. Okay. Then again, I need this format here. But why do I need this? Just this. It will just fill up my this space. More is to be filled. So I won't do that. I'll just group these again. I'll group these again. Group. Click, Control C, Control V. I got the whole thing here. Okay, so you can do all this stuff. You can just design something. You can just create something like this on your posters. Okay. So I guess I will be out. Yeah, it's 8:30. I'm out of time. So these are some things you can do. And basically here you don't get anything ready-made. You have to like download anything from like Google. You want this background. Okay. You want this background. You just have to get this get a type of brown background from Google and then place it from here. Okay, place it from here, create these objects, play around, explore the software and all. You can just do all this stuff and create something. Or if you're a beginner, you can just go on to Canva and just do it. Yeah, so that's it from my side for today. Any
These all
questions?
things, yeah. So these things actually I can do it in Photoshop, but I think
Yeah.
it's much more better in this platform, no? I
Yeah,
mean,
because it
for
doesn't
multiple
degrade anything.
pages and all, I can do here.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the
And
main
layers.
difference?
And also the thing is always name the layers, because once you get
Yeah,
into all those layers, you will just get confused what it is and all. Okay,
yeah.
so always name the layer. You can just click on it, double click on it and name. Okay, and I just
Okay.
showed how to drag drop and all things and all things, then shift the layers up down and all. So you could just do that. And that's all. Yeah.
Okay.
Any questions?
So
You are
like,
asking something, some difference.
I mean, what is the main difference between this platform and Illustrator and Photoshop? I mean, in these
Which
both,
platform?
yeah. What is the main difference
Mm-hmm.
with the platform you are using now and
Yeah.
Photoshop?
Okay, so the main difference is basically the quality of the images. Here it stores the images, the objects all in vectors. Okay. So in vectors, it basically doesn't degrade anything. The quality remains intact and all. So here
Okay.
that's all taken care of, and you can create many things. And some disadvantages of Illustrator, not disadvantages, basically it's designed for that. Like in Photoshop, what you can do is you can just brush out some things. You can download textured brush and install them,
Yeah.
and you can create something. So it's very difficult and all to do it in Illustrator. It's very easy to do it in Photoshop. So those are some
Okay.
things also.
And also, one thing I just found, I mean, in the Lightroom,
Yeah.
what all things we can do in Lightroom can be done in Photoshop also. I mean, in that, I
Yeah,
think
almost the things. Yeah.
raw, something called raw image, something like that, raw
Right.
gallery, something like that. In that we can do. So, like, why do people actually install, separately? Because the same thing we can do in Photoshop. Also, in some videos, I saw that, like, people says that you can do that same stuff in Photoshop, what all things are done in Lightroom. So, I didn't find any explanation in net. I mean, like, why do people download that separately? So, is there any,
Okay.
answer for that?
Like I am not like very known of it as a big difference or something,
Yeah,
but
It
that's
doesn't
what.
have any difference
it
actually.
doesn't
Yeah,
have any
that's what.
difference
It doesn't have
basically.
any difference. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
the
doesn't
thing.
have
So,
any difference.
Photoshop, that camera raw filter, that section, it has got
yeah,
everything
Okay.
what we
exactly.
have in Lightroom.
Ishanuj, if you know anything of that, please could you?
Yeah, that was my. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, what all things we do in Lightroom, we can do the same in that camera raw filter in
Yeah,
Photoshop.
right,
So,
right.
yeah, yeah, so that was it.
Basically, there are many softwares. These all the software I told. There are a lot more and advanced softwares out there which you can use. Okay, like you go professional, you some might not use all this. There are like different various softwares they use. There are many professional softwares. So just to start off or something, like I started off as Canva because I'm basically a painter. Okay, I do paintings, I do sketchings and all. Then I had an interest to shift onto the digital platform. So I started with the De-Desino with our university. Then I got into learning these things. You have a senior mentor here, who's our senior also. Your senior, and of course my senior, Ishanuj Barman, and also Snehashi Sahu. So they are like the current leads of the designer. So they taught us and all. So we started off with Canva, and there's this poster making competition which I just announced. Okay, the official poster for it, the competition poster, will be out by this weekend. So and a rule book and all will be out. So you'll get in all the details. Still, I'm just emphasizing on what all are there here. So I just want every one of you here, at least who all participated in today's workshop, to make something out of it. Okay, be it simple, it doesn't matter. Be it creative, be it anyhow. Okay, you just create it on Canva. Some of you use Photoshop, Lightroom, then Illustrator. Doesn't matter. You just make it and give it a shot. Just try out the software. I showed you all the things where like I started off as a like very immature kind of a designer, or you might say something like that. So it doesn't matter. You'll grow with time, you'll grow with experience and all. Okay. So that's not an issue. But I want everyone to participate in it. Like you'll get to learn and all stuff.
So yes, guys. I mean, it was as simple as that. You saw in the Illustrator part also, the part when I came back. You can simply just use shortcuts, and it's just as simple as cutting it off using the shortcuts and everything. So it's very easy to create. You can use anything. Even the mobile apps are getting advanced these days. You can use much apps like PixArt, and there's photo editor apps out there. So you can use those also. And yeah, the competition is gonna be very good for you guys. It has a good prize pool also. So the top three winners will get cash prizes. So do participate, I'll say, because all of your entries will be showcased, and we'll send out your social media also. So
Yeah,
I'd
the
recommend you
social
guys
media
do participate.
handles will be out. Like you'll get it on the group, the D designer handles and all the handles of
Yeah, no,
mentors
no.
or
I
officials.
meant your social media will be mentioned in those, so you'll also get the
Right.
clout from it. Yeah, and your work will also get showcased. So do participate, I'd say,
Yeah, all
regardless
the
of.
work you given will go into the De-Desino page on Instagram, and it will be basically a ratio of either 60-40 or 30-70 ratio, which will be decided and told to you.
Yeah.
So 40% or 30% on the maximum likes you attain, and 70% will be on the judging we do. Okay, so basically it's that thing, and
So
it's a
that
great
way, all of the
platform
part,
to
yeah,
showcase your
you'll get
talent,
a lot of popularity from it
exposure.
also. Other than that, you also have the cash prizes. So and
Yeah,
certificates are
so
obviously there. The participation certificates will always be there. So
and don't miss out on the cash prizes, guys.
yeah.
Lug जाओ
Speaking of
पूरा.
cash prizes, we are approaching quiz time, guys. So if anyone's not here, just let them know.
Yeah, right. We'll just wait for a few minutes and then we'll just start off with the quiz.
Yeah. Our
So
quizmaster
before
Adi,
that,
I hope, is ready.
yeah,
Yes,
is
so
he here? Yeah.
yes, I am.
सबको बुला लो जो भी आ रहा है and all. So I just got a question with you all. I guess just an interactive session or something. Okay.
So yes,
So
I
how
mean
was
any
the workshop? How was Cruise and
before
De-Designers
before
photography and
before
design?
that Abhishek, yeah, before that Abhishek,
Yeah.
if anyone has any questions regarding photography or regarding graphic design, directed to Ishanuj and Abhishek, you may ask now. We'll do 5 minutes of Q&A. So any general topics, anything you want to talk about, you can ask.
Yeah, like anything, guys. It's free to you can just
Even
unmute and
even you can ask about the previous work experience, the Kalakshetra things and everything. You can ask anything.
And guys, give us your feedback also. We would like to know where we can improve and all.
5 star.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just,
yeah, I would
I'm just
also like
asking.
to mention the the poster for which this event got through. The Creativeverse poster was designed on Illustrator. Okay, so basically, you all can see it's a quite decent poster. I feel it's quite a decent poster to go. But I'll just add to this. When Kalakshetra started, I downloaded my Illustrator. I used to use Photoshop and all, but I'm using Illustrator since I guess this August. So basically, y'all can just improve in a few months. Okay, there's no big deal. Y'all can just explore it. Y'all can improve. Plus, we are here to help. You'll get my number in the WhatsApp group. You have any difficulty, just contact me. I'll help you out. Plus the crew and De-Desino recruiting processes and all. Y'all can just contact Ishanuj and me, and we'll be getting to you in touch with that. Any questions and all for something? Juniors, you all also can just ask anything. There's no restrictions and all.
Don't ask us about campus and all. We've been there.
And of course, don't ask about the quiz questions and answers. शीरिश एक बार ग्रुप पे डाल दे क्विज स्टार्ट हो रहा है 8:45 पे if anyone wants to join.
कौन सा quiz? Menti?
No, we have everyday quizzes and like the top 3 winners gets cash prizes. So that one.
अच्छा.
आज भी होगा.
कल किसकी वर्कशॉप है?
कल वीडियो एडिटिंग वर्कशॉप है. फिर से अच्छे
उसके
चीज
बाद
दिखाया जाएगा
Yeah.
फ्रॉम सिनेमेट्स एंड De-Desino.
अब
So
स्टार्ट
tomorrow's workshop कितना ईशानुज भैया और कुणाल ले रहे.
कुणाल कुणाल
पुरकाइश तो
हाँ
कुणाल पुरकाइश तो ले रहे.
पुरकाइश
चलो क्विज स्टार्ट करते
कर
हैं.
रहा हूँ.
यस.
चलो. अब फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन तो सबको पता ही है क्या है. चलो. Resolution of an image describes. These are the 4 options. Eleven people have answered correctly. Now let's see. Sneha is in the first place. Srijan is in the second. Yorani is in the third. Pro_Dutt is in the fourth place, and Vidhayak G is in the fifth place. Chalo. Second question. When shooting in manual mode, which of the following controls the exposure of your capture?
गाइस चलो आज का सेशन अगर सुना रहेगा सारे क्वेश्चन एकदम इजीली कर लोगे।
वाह भाई वाह, देखो कितना अच्छे से पढ़ा है अभिषेक ने। तीन लोगों ने
सुना है
आंसर किया है। ऑल ऑफ
क्या
द 10 लोगों ने बात की। बहुत अच्छा पढ़ा है अभिषेक, वेरी वेल डन
भाई।
नहीं,
आईएसओ
ये
एक्सपोजर
ये
मेरा
तो ये तो इशनौज भैया का था ना।
हाँ ये मेरा नहीं था।
हाँ ये तेरा नहीं था, ये तेरा नहीं था। तेरा आएगा वैसे, चिंता मत कर। लेट्स सी। ओ भाई 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 भाई, स्कोर्स तो भाई। लेट्स सी। When an aperture priority, adjusting exposure compensation will alter what? कौन गाइस, ये सीधा आंसर है। क्वेश्चन एक दो बार और पढ़ो बस, आराम से आंसर मिल जाएगा। Come on guys, 5 seconds. कर दो जल्दी जल्दी। 8 people answered depth of field, 5 people answered aperture. I mean देखो क्या था ना इस क्वेश्चन में, बस अपार्चर प्रायोरिटी से था। मैं होता तो मैं सोचता कि अपार्चर प्रायोरिटी से है तो भाई यही आंसर होगा, ये वाला ही, और क्या। Oh, Ibrani is in the lead. Soumya is in second. SB, who this is in the third place. Now next. When working in Lightroom, a raw file, what is the best color space to be working in? Twelve people have answered Adobe RGB. Chalo, cool. Soumya is in the first place now. The Nifty 50 describes what? It's a term in related to photography. Yes, a 50mm f1.8 lens. Oh, Yavrani is on a streak now. Cool. Ritul is in the second place. Mehrasa is in the third. Soumya is in the fourth, and Vidhayak Ji is in the fifth place. Come on, guys, it's not over yet. You can still make a comeback. The major difference between graphic designers and graphic artists is. Guys, just read this question once more and
थोड़ा रीड करो आ जाएगा ना, बताया नहीं लेकिन बहुत
पता
simple
चल
है।
जाएगा खुद। अच्छे से एक बार रीड कर लो, इतना भी नहीं, मतलब टाइम अब जा रहा है, निकल ही गया। Graphic designers have advertisers. Graphic artists create to serve the greater public. ये लोगों ने 5 लोगों ने आंसर मारा है।
नहीं सोशल सर्विस पॉइंट ठीक है, वो भी कर रहा हूँ मैं कॉलेज के लिए, लेकिन पैसे भी चाहिए ना।
हाँ वही तो।
This question was very subjective. This question was very subjective. You can't really decide on which option is the
That's a little confusing. रीड करने से बार-बार आ जाएगा।
confusing. नहीं read भी करोगे तो but the options are still very subjective.
Which one of these? This is a graphic designing application by Adobe. ये easy question है guys. ये पढ़े हो तुम लोग अभी? ये अभिषेक ने बताया। Good. Illustrator. ये विजुअल स्टूडियो किसने किया है?
विजुअल स्टूडियो किसने किया मुझे जानना है। विजुअल
मुझे
स्टूडियो
जानना है कौन महापुरुष दो लोग हैं जिन लोगों ने विजुअल स्टूडियो मारा है।
कैनवा फिर भी समझ में आता है, बट
हाँ
कैनवा
कैनवा
एडोबे का
समझ में आ जाता है। ये विजुअल स्टूडियो इन लोगों ने मारा है भाई। अरे रे 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 रे, ये कहाँ जा रही है हमारी युवा पीढ़ी। Okay, by the way, guys, the correct answer is Illustrator. Jethalal is in the first place, Tushara is in the second, Ritul is in the third place. EPS files have all the embedded fonts and color sections in the file. True or false? This is a very easy question. वाह, ये बढ़िया है। देखो 10 लोगों ने ट्रू मारा, 9 लोगों ने false.
एकदम
This was really, ये देख के ना बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है। This is
मजा आया। ये गेम चेंजर हो सकता है।
वही, अब देखते हैं क्या रैंकिंग्स है। ओ भाई भाई भाई,
बोला था ना गेम चेंजर हो सकता है।
भाई ये बढ़िया था। Come on guys, only 3 questions left now. Which of the following is not an element of design? सोच के बताओ, सोच के बताओ।
फोकस करो जरा क्वेश्चन पे, ठीक है?
हाँ, जरा
आराम
फोकस करके बताओ, आराम से, इतना भी आराम से। गुड गुड, वेरी गुड, बहुत बढ़िया मेरे शिष्यों, अच्छा काम किया। चलो अब देखते हैं। ओ भाई भाई भाई, Tushara is on a streak of 6. Nice. Come on guys, अब बस दो क्वेश्चंस बचे हैं इसमें। How is a color scheme different from color selection?
अभी पढ़ा क्या है?
Both are correct and first two are both false भी options हैं, वो उसमें भी ध्यान दो। 10 people have answered, both are correct.
सही है।
Good. ये बढ़िया किया। अब देखते हैं। Tushara is in the first place, Ritul is in the second, and Jethalal is in the third place. अब guys last question बचा है, अब देखते हैं भाई। True or false? बहुत simple question. Color is an element of design. True or false? I mean,
जल्दी जल्दी, टाइम वेस्ट, टाइम वेस्ट।
जल्दी करो guys.
विनर टाइम के ऊपर डिसाइड हो रहा है इस पे, एकदम सिंपल सा है।
I mean,
नाइस मेजॉरिटी है।
false, हाँ ये अच्छा था, but false क्यों मारा यार? I mean, design में color is a very crucial part ही तो। But anyways, अब देखते हैं पोडियम पे कौन कौन। No. अभिषेक स्क्रीनशॉट ले लियो।
यस ब्रदर। बस सुना तुषारा होगा।
Congratulations guys. ये जेठालाल पानी का नाम बताओ।
Congratulations guys.
Yo,
तुषारा,
congrats guys.
रितुल and जेठालाल। जेठालाल कौन है? Congrats बोलने का
तुषारा
नाम
फर्स्ट
बता दो।
अगेन। तुषारा फर्स्ट। एक और क्विज में कोई फर्स्ट थी ना तुषारा?
हाँ,
स्वयं
पहले जो हमने सिनेमेट का करवाया था उसमें।
हाँ।
कूल, नाइस। अब
5 क्वेश्चन।
क्या भैया?
अरे मैं लेट आया ना, मैं फर्स्ट 5 क्वेश्चंस मिस कर दिया यार।
तब से बुला रहे हैं इतना।
बुला रहे थे तो इतने टाइम से हम लोग। कब नहीं आना है?
आज भी ठग के ले जाते।
और प्रोडक्शन चल रहा था, फिर मेरे को शीर्ष का मैसेज आया कि इट्स टाइम, और फिर मैं देखा तो 15 मिनट पहले मैसेज भेजा है। मैं बोला गया मेरा कुछ।
नहीं तो आज फिर से भैया ठग लेते।
हाँ
भाई मेरे तो ठग गया भाई।
गाइस तीनों अपना, ये तुषारा का तो पता है, सेकंड कौन था? आदित्य एक बार चेक कर लो तो।
सेकंड रितुल।
बोल रहा हूँ।
स्वयं सिंह आई गेस।
जेठालाल is Swayam, I think so, yeah. No, second is Ritul Arya and Jethalal is Swayam, I think so. वही है ना?
कंफर्म कर दो एक बार।
स्वयं है नहीं है? एक बार अनम्यूट करके बोल दे।
यस आई एम जेठा।
स्वयं कल भी सेकंड आया था ना?
हाँ
यस।
नाइस।
वाह, इसकी तो भाई ये बंदा ट्रीट पे
तू ही ले जाएगा।
लूट के लेके जाएगा। नाइस। चलो कांग्रेचुलेशंस गाइस। वो
हाँ।
मेरे को रिकॉर्ड में लिखेगा। I'll contact you later on after the workshop for the details.
का वर्कशॉप है
कल? हाँ, I'll just ping in for tomorrow also guys. कल का मैं बता देता हूँ। कल we'll have video editing completely. So we'll be showcasing 2 or 3 softwares and we'll be focusing on a lot of things. ठीक है? तो the whole workshop will be of video editing alone. So if you guys want, you can even turn on your cameras for a screenshot, I guess. That would be
ओ
good.
हाँ
हम्म
रिपोर्ट वाला स्क्रीनशॉट
छोटी बड़ी आदमी को तो अच्छा मिल जाता है ना।
मेरा भाई आज चेयर टेबल है मेरे पास, मैं अपने घर पे नहीं हूँ। आज लिटरली चेयर टेबल है मेरे पास।
स्क्रीनशॉट किसी और को लेना पड़ेगा बिकॉज आई वोंट बी एबल टू। ये देखिए दीमो आज अपने प्रोडक्शन मूड में with the neon lights.
Full neon lights.
Am I visible, guys? I hope I am. Yes. थोड़ा सा I'm in 2 meets simultaneously right now. बगल में Google Meet भी खुला हुआ है. Sorry, I
फोटोग्राफी का मेंटर सर।
और कौन सी मीट
मेरा
कर रहा है?
कैमरा
हाँ
अरे
जी,
वो GDSA
बोलिए।
का मीट चल रहा है. तो ईशानुज कम ऑन कैमरा.
अरे भाई बहुत थक गया आज नहीं।
अरे मेंटर का कैमरा ऑन नहीं रहेगा
कैमरा
तो
ऑन होना
SMIT पूरा बन जाएगा।
अरे भाई कल ऑन कर लेंगे।
नहीं कल क्या, ये सब कुछ नहीं, ऑन करिए.
अरे भाई
ईशानुज ऐसे नहीं होता है, मैं तेरे लिए अवेंजर्स का गाना बना रहा है इधर।
Come on, turn on cameras everyone.
रुको भाई ऑन करेगा।
भाई अर्नव कहाँ गायब हो गया? ऑन कर
कैमरा।
अरे कर ले.
नहीं भैया
एक कोई छोड़ के चला गया, कौन गया भाई कैमरा के डर से? कोई नहीं, जो लोग नहीं करना चाहते नो वरीज, बट कर लोगे तो अच्छा रहेगा.
कर लोगे तो अच्छा है। हम लोग इंस्टाग्राम पे टैग कर देंगे.
You'll go down in history.
बेकार एक फायदे का एक प्रमोशन मिल जाएगा तुम लोगों को, 2-4 फॉलोअर्स बढ़ जाएंगे।
पोस्ट करो सब यार.
तो चांद सांस तो लेने दे, फ्लाइट से उतर के वर्कशॉप पे बिठा दिया। वो फ्लाइट से घर पे फ्रेश होकर बैठने नहीं दिया, वर्कशॉप दे रहा हूँ।
फिर इसको काम थमा दिया कि भाई मुझे क्विज के क्वेश्चंस दे ये।
हाँ फिर बोलता है क्विज के क्वेश्चन दे। वाह
भैया प्रथम भैया
मांगेगा 2-3 दिन के पोस्टर्स।
Okay, screenshots done, guys.
हाँ हो गया।
So yeah, thank you for today, guys. Congratulations to the quiz winners. Again, yeah, the winners were Tushara, Ritul, and Swayam. So congratulations, guys. Also, yes, I hope you learned something. Also, the big announcement was a competition. Obviously, we'll be sending the details of the competitions on most probably Thursday. I mean, sorry, Thursday, Saturday.
Weekend.
Yeah, weekend. Saturday पे we'll be sending out the all the official details of the competition. तुम लोग को you have an edge about the competition. तुम लोग को पता है क्या है. So start preparing from now.
सिखा दिया है, सिंपल सा भी बना सकते हो,
So
अच्छा वाला प्रैक्टिस करके बना
start कर
सकते
दो.
हो।
competition का theme and all that पता है. 28 को official announcement होगा, तो तुम लोग को जल्दी.
कंपटीशन है
Graphic designing. Tomorrow we'll be doing video editing with Ishanuj will still be there with us tomorrow for editing, and will be joined by Kunal Purkastha, is the lead editor in Cinemates. So see you guys tomorrow for that, and just check out the group for details. So sure,
Guys, इसको एक चीज पूछनी है, I have to ask one thing.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any interest in writing here? Does anyone enjoy writing? Writing किसी को?
है ना, मैं ना
About the writing part also, Cinemates ka, guys, we have a ENC team, enthusiasts and critics. अपना आदित्य lead है, so we'll be talking about that in the official, like फिर से जब recruitment session आएगा हम लोग का Cinemates का. बाकी का recruitment का तुम लोग को details पता है, socials पता है, so you guys can go all the way there. And I stupidly am just putting in the details. मैं link tree डालने की जगह सारा details डाल रहा था इतने दिन से group पे. I'll just put the link tree from today. सीरियल लिंक ट्री पे जाओ, सारा डिटेल्स मिल जाएगा सिनेमेट्स का, एंड बाकी क्लब्स का भी.
बाकी तो ये मेंशन करके दे देगा.
डिजाइनो एंड क्रू का भी डाल देंगे, एंड ऑल द मेंटर्स का भी सोशल्स रहेगा ग्रुप पे. यू गाइस कैन गो फॉलो, एंड कभी भी मैसेज कर लो लोगों, दे विल बी हैप्पी टू हेल्प. एंड या गाइस, सी यू टुमारो.